It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us make them remember we are not afraid!
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, where it's a nice, bright, sunny day. Go ahead and close those. You know, the one thing I wanted to do today, we didn't have a guest today, and I told Sierra just, let's go ahead and get caught up. What I want to get caught up on is all the things that happened this week. I'll tell you what made me think of it. When we were in, Japan is in meltdown. And it's getting worse. They're already Chernobyl levels. I mean, this is, it's going to get bad. Then we have Libya. We're invading there. We did a great show on that yesterday. The problem is that what else happens? Whenever this is going on, these kinds of things are happening, there's a lot of other stuff you don't hear about. What didn't we hear about? There was I think it was... a few days ago, I put up a story, and what I had is the graphic, and that's where we really get to have our say. A lot of times they'll have, why did you put up that neocon collectivist, liberal, progressive, blah, blah, blah article about what you call it? Well, we want you to know what's being said, what the programming is, why do you think they call it television and radio programming? And it's not programming them, it's programming you. So what we do is we take a look at things that were going on while we were distracted. So the graphic that I put up is some attractive girl that has a bikini on, and she's there leaning. While you were looking at this famous model, I don't even know who she is, looking at her chest, this happened. And what was going on then was Israel were doing bombings in Gaza. And I'm going, you didn't hear about that. You didn't hear about one of the past head guy, president, prime minister, whatever the heck they have in Israel, just got a sentence of 7 years for rape. You think you might have heard about that if one of our former presidents were convicted of rape? That probably somebody would have known about that. That could be all over ETV. I mean, so... there's a lot of things that go on that go unnoticed, and oftentimes they have things going on to distract from. A lot of it has to do with the economy and the Fed. A lot of it has to do with laws that are going, just so many things. Now, this is what I've done today. Sierra and I have taken and just went from Monday morning. I think I may have used one or two stories on Sunday. Monday morning, we have 2 dispatches that go out of Freedom's Phoenix. We have so much content that come in. Not everything that's submitted we put up on the front page. Pal Gamble, senior editor, and I would be like, that's ad hominem crap, and that's just programming from the man, and that's just, cuz. They're trying to just, and sometimes we'll put it up just to make the point that's what they're doing. It's obvious. Like today. I give you a good one. It's a meeting of the Joes, okay? In California, they have an event where Joe Arpaio, sheriff here in Maricopa County, Joe the plumber, some other Joe. It's like it's a fundraiser, GOP, come see our thing. I've gotten, delete. Second time, delete. Third time, I'm like, wow, man, they just keep sending. They keep sending. They're not getting enough response, or so. In the last, just this morning, I got 3 separate emails, separated by an hour or 2 apart. They just keep promoting this thing. So I go, okay, all right. Well, we'll put something up. We have a fun graphic that'll go with that, give our opinion. So there's a lot of things that they want to program through Freedom's Phoenix and the show, and some of the guests that they advocate that we have on, and a lot of no. But I'll give you a couple examples. Phyllis Bennis from the Institute for Policy Studies, she's heavy progressive. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's good that we, went to war here or not here and this and that. It's all about redistribution of the wealth of the rich people in this country to give to the poor people that need, and progressive. Have her on. I get an email from someone, I can't believe you would have this person on, blah, blah, blah. I'm going, all the more reason to have them on. That's, it's just talking shop inside kind of, what fun is that, So we have pleasant conversations and we get to see where they're really coming from. Okay. So that's good to do. Then we have people that give us some insight, that whether you agree with them or not, or they're just propagandizing you, sometimes you want them on too. I'll give you two examples. One is a gentleman yesterday, Jafar al-Shaib, is an elected official in the Eastern Province in Saudi Arabia, talking to us about what's really going on there. And he has a fine line to walk. I mean, we were talking off air, man. I'm like, wow, how is it that were you directed to do this? Or I guarantee one thing, you were allowed to. As a member of the government, advocating for human rights and so on, he's putting a human rights from the government face on this thing and allowed to go on American radio. Now, he got his bachelor's degree in Colorado and his master's in Tennessee in economics. And I'm going, you of all people, haven't been exposed to us. He's about 49, 50 years old. And I go, you have to understand the hypocrisy that the American people here see, and the difference between the American people and our culture and the United States government. I mean, you have to understand that we see what's going on in Yemen and Bahrain and Syria, and that's okay, because it's our despot, but then we're going to go after Gaddafi. I mean, you have to understand this. Yes, he does. He sees a future. This is not going well. Now, we have another gentleman that we're trying to get. We got a request for interview and so on, a blanket thing sent out to talk show hosts and so on. And Sierra goes to me, because you remember the guy from Florida? And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Well, the guy that had the son, that was in the Marines in Afghanistan. He's a talk show. No. She goes, well, I go, oh, Captain America. That's his name of his radio show. And he has a show on Pentagon's Department of Defense talk radio programming that they air to the troops in the Middle East. He has a show. He's funded by the Pentagon. CENTCOM is in Central Command is in Florida. I think that's what it was, CENTCOM. And he lives like just a few miles from that. I've been in there. I've seen all the operations live as they're, satellite. It's like watching, a Clancy movie. As we're watching them going in and the heat signatures of, you can tell, and lay waste to and whatever, and yay, we kicked their butt. We won that one. A little frame, on the satellite. Okay, must be winning. Got high-tech goodies. High-tech enough that since 2006, we have another story that the Colombian government's been using drones for 5 years. 5 years. Going after, I don't know, whoever they want to, of course, the name of the drug war. So this is, a lot of this stuff has been test marketed out there. And so what we're going to do today is, talk about some of the, the news that's going on. Now, we'll have Captain America. We're going to try and make an effort to get him on because, I'm really interested to see what someone with the endorsement of the Pentagon has to say, what he has to say about Libya. And what about Bahrain? Yemen, Syria. These are the options that we have. Now, what I'm going to do today is we're going to go through dozens. I mean, real quick, just the headlines from Monday to Thursday. So we're really looking like 3.5 days. We have a morning and an afternoon dispatch. And I just picked out some of the stuff that we didn't cover because there's just so much of it. We will when we come back. You guys stay right there.